making the most of the Wellness Wheel tool. Hi, this is Shane from Design Your Life Coaching, and in this video I'm going to be helping you make sure you make the most of your completed Wellness Wheel. So by now you've already done the hard work. You've given yourself a current level of satisfaction, a score across many areas of your life, and your current level of satisfaction across everything from nutrition to spirituality. And what you should now have in front of you is your completed Wellness Wheel. On the diagram here, you can see my completed Wellness Wheel tool that we completed earlier. So the very first thing you can do is, looking at your own wheel, just give yourself an opportunity to let it speak to you. And perhaps you might be drawn to one area more so than another, or perhaps it's immediately says something to you. For that first insight can be very valuable. The second thing then would be perhaps to move around the wheel and notice what you notice. I would suggest you first focus on the positives. So for example, in my wheel, relationships, stress management and mindset are all scoring pretty high. So to use some positive psychology here, it's a great idea to focus on them first. So I could look at my relationships spoke and I could say, oh, it's a 9. A nice question to ask would be, what makes that a 9 and not a 7? Or why is that a 9 or not an 8? And I might think, it's because myself and my wife really spent a lot of quality time over the weekend, and we carried that into the start of the week by making time for each other and making sure that was quality time. You could do the same for some of your other high scores. Stress management, you go, oh, what makes that an 8 and not a 7? Oh yeah, I'm remembering to use my breathing exercise when I feel a little bit too much stress to bring my stress down. So when you've kind of focused on your strengths for a minute or so, perhaps then it's time to move to an area that's not perhaps a weaker spoke on the wheel. Remember, an intention here is to leave with a clear focus and prioritized area for action that will help my overall balance. So I've got 2 low scores here. I have movement and I have spirituality. Now, one of the reasons my movement is so poor is because my foot injury is injured. I fell over my foot a few weeks ago and I can't yet run. So I'm going to just leave that for now. It's not really an area I can get much benefit from or do much to make progress in right now. But the other one, look at me now, is spirituality. So again, I can use some positive psychology. Why is that a 4 and not a 3? Well, for me, what I'm thinking right now is that, it's because even though I haven't been consistent with my meditation practice, I have been until recently, and I've just fallen off the wagon, you could say, in the last week or so. And I still do it inconsistently. So that's making me feel okay. But then I can ask myself, if I wanted to improve this area, what would take it from a 4 to a 5, or maybe from a 4 to a 6? And what's coming to me now would be to set my alarm in the morning to remind me of it's time to do my meditation and my spiritual practice, because I've simply fallen out of habit. So that could be an action that I take from this. I could set up my reminder on my phone to go off every morning at a certain time to trigger me to remember to carry out my spiritual practice. And then that is something that I could try and make a new habit out of, or to get back into my routine and therefore form a new healthy behavior around that. I could ask myself for another behavior, perhaps more reading. I could pull out some of the more spiritual minded books and I could leave them around my reading area, so they remind me to spend more time focusing on that aspect of my life. Okay, so that can be absolutely enough. So now I encourage you to just first get your first impression of your wheel. Focus on your strengths. It's so important to focus on your strengths. It's very important in psychology to build up that positive energy, and then pick your weaker one. And also remember, if all of your scores are very low, it doesn't matter. It's your current level of satisfaction And we can all go through bad periods. We all have done, and it's how we pull ourselves through them. So just pick an area, start small, and get into it. Start to build up good practices, good behaviors, good habits. And trust me, success breeds success. So get started. Remember, that's what we're here for. Hire a good coach if you need help. Look at the rest of the websites for some good resources and top tips in the resources section for these different areas. Educate yourself, take action, and you will start to improve. And over time, it's a marathon. Life is a marathon, not a race. Over time, you can start to build up the weaker spokes, and by constantly monitoring this, and we can start to be selective as to what areas of our life to focus on, and therefore be striving for balance, and remembering that balance will help us achieve the high level wellness and health that we're looking for. So good luck with that. You can also contact me directly through the website. Perhaps you might want to even set up a free 30-minute session to talk about your wellness wheel. And you can do that through the website. You look at the calendar option, find the slot, schedule it, and we can talk, and perhaps you can bring that into a coaching package that works for you. Okay, I hope that's been of use to you, and good luck working on your wellness.